Hi guys, I'm Anna and welcome to our campfire. Guys, here we're discussing all the latest news, all the latest updates in the Diablo 4 world, and just goddamn it dropped live streams 20th of April, and we just witnessed the developers live stream, and a lot of insane info just dropped here. Guys, the first ultimate thing that you all want to know, that you all are excited about, Server Slam is coming May 12th, May 14th. They're gonna be the Server Slam, they're gonna be the Diablo 4 servers will be open once again for you to destroy them. So the goal of this particular test for this particular weekend is to absolutely destroy the servers. It's an open weekend, absolutely everyone can join, and you need to crash the servers. Come on, hordes of players, it is your time. Guys, careful about this weekend. What will happen? It's 48 hours. It is again Act 1, Fractured Peaks, again the same area. You will be able to level your characters only till level 20. All the characters are available, but this is not the same characters from the previous beta. You will be leveling brand new characters, but you once again have a chance to try absolutely everything, to try all the characters in the game. Only till level 20. Also, a Shava will be available here. A world boss will be waiting for you there. You will be able to fight a Shava after the first day, so after the 24 hours, a Shava will be appearing every 3 hours. So in total, there will be like 9 encounters. You will have 9 chances to defeat a Shava. And what is incredibly cool and new in this beta, first of all, you will be able to get in the beta, if you're playing, if you're leveling your character till level 20, you will be able to get all the rewards from the previous beta, so the titles, the wolf pup, the joy, and also if you're defeating a Shava in this beta, in the Server Slam that will be in May, you will be able to get a special reward, a special transmog, a special horn for your horse. It is, well, who am I? It's really beautiful. It's really sick. You need to destroy a Shava, goddammit, in this weekend. What else there about the Server Slam? Well, guys, in this test, the legendary drops will be not increased. Legendary drops will be pretty much, you will feel it how the legendaries are dropping in the actual game. So during the first 2 betas, we had increased legendary drops. In this Server Slam, you're not gonna be getting so many legendaries. The legendary drops were brought back to the actual game game drops. So don't expect too many legendaries to fly around. And also a little note about the Server Slam from the developers. Check out the control customization options. They put there something sexy. They adjusted there. They're constantly searching for the ways how to give you more customization, more control, more ways how to make the gameplay, how to make the way how you're playing the game is more comfortable for you. So check it. All the latest changes, all the latest adjustments that we saw also recently in the blog posts for the beta learnings, all of them will be already implemented in the Server Slam. So all the balance changes, the class changes, all of this already will be there. It should be available and you will be able to test it. Why I'm saying you will be able to test it, I will be maybe on vacation, but I also hope I will anyway sneak out and I will anyway try to play this weekend. After all, I also want this goddammit horns and I also really wanna play. What else was discussed? What else the guys were talking about? The developers and of course the ultimate wonderful guy Riker. Guys, this live stream was mostly about the endgame activities, and the developers, they were talking about every aspect of the endgame here in details, and then they were answering a lot of questions. So first of all, about what they said. They were talking about the world tiers, how the world tiers are working in Diablo 4. There are 4 world tiers, which is sad because previously we saw some images that there are 5 world tiers. Now they removed the last one, they removed Hell. Now they're going to be only 4. So we have Adventurer, Veteran, then Nightmare, then Tournament. So 4 world tiers. If first 2 were available for us right in the beginning when we were playing the beta, and I believe that's how it's going to be in the game, the last 2 will be available later. A Nightmare you are unlocking when you're reaching level 50, and you are unlocking it by doing a cap dungeon. We saw some images. It is the dungeon that is more difficult. The dungeons that is longer than than the normal dungeons. It's the dungeon that has more objectives and that has a glorious boss fight. It's a difficult dungeon. It is. Riker was trying it on level 45 when his character was level 45. This dungeon is you're supposed to go there when you're level 50, and Riker was kicked out. It was quite difficult, so to say. Quite difficult it was for him to complete it, so he had to leave the dungeon and then farm to get some more power, and then only after that he was able to complete it. Then later, when you will want to progress and go higher, when you want to switch to world tier tournament, you will also have to complete this cap dungeon to be able to unlock it. Okay, besides that, the difficulty, those difficult tournaments, they feel horrible. They feel really, really difficult. What does this mean? Not just the monster levels, the monster just damage numbers were increased. Overall, the world tiers, going from the world tier to the world tier, actually feels, if you're going to the Nightmare world tier, it feels the world is becoming more hostile. The monsters are changing their strategies, how they're attacking you. Maybe there are going to be some new mechanics, how the monsters are attacking you, and the world is becoming scarier and scarier for you, and it's becoming harder and harder to survive. Careful, hardcore players, careful. That's gonna be lols. And so basically, and then you're going on tournament, that's gonna be even worse. Okay, and guys, on the higher world tiers, on Nightmare Dungeon, on Nightmare difficulty, and on Tournament difficulty, the new items will start dropping. Sacred items and Ancestral items. They are cool, they are more powerful, they have higher stats, and they are have cool rolls. Sacred items are dropping on from Nightmare world tier. Ancestral items are dropping on the Tournament world tier. Sacred items are dropping in range from level 50 to level 70, and they can have their range of their stats on the sacred items can go from you can get the item with the stats for level 50, you can get really high stats from level 4, you can get a super duper item with the stats for level 70. But the item that's dropping for you, your character right now level 53, your character will be able to equip immediately every item that you are picking up. The items that are dropping, they are always your level, the level of your current character. But the stats, the item can have, the stat can be level 70. Super duper, really high stats, which is amazing. And since there is no particular bound for this character you're playing rogue, you can still get the items for the druid, for example. And if you're getting something for the druid, which is super insane stats you have for level 70, and it's for the druid, you can always trade it on the market. There is a trade available in Diablo 4, so you can trade it. Also, with the higher difficulties, new legendary powers will be added into the game. So, the legendary powers that we saw so far in the betas, it's not all. We haven't found everything, and we haven't seen the legendary powers that are available, that will be available only on the higher difficulties, so later in the game. Besides that, there are also uniques that are also they will be insane insanely rare, but they will be incredibly cool. They showed us a couple of images with uniques. They showed us a couple of with legendaries, with legendary items, with legendary powers, for example, we saw Shaco. Shaco is doing a beautiful comeback. It's a unique helm, absolutely sick stats, like really sick stats, and it's insane. And Shaco will be there waiting for you. Many times developers are saying it's rare. It's really rare. We'll see how it will be in the game. Who will be the first one who will get the new Shaco in Diablo 4? Yeah. What else? What else is there? What else is there in the end game? There is the Helltide. Helltide, it is the activity which is kind of reminding terror zones in Diablo 2. In Diablo 4, it's also going to be the areas on the map that were terrified. That are affected right now, and the monsters are higher. They have higher level, and these monsters, they're giving you, obviously more XP. This is from Diablo 2, this was we saw in Diablo 2. But in Diablo 4, there is more mechanics. There's a lot more sexy, cool things here in Helltide. For example, in Helltide, there will be special currencies. Cinders will be dropping from the monsters or from the chests, from the some little constructions that you are destroying on the map. You will be picking up cinders. It's a special currency for Helltide. These cinders you will be using to open the chests that are they're located only in Helltide. They are not available anywhere else. And the chests always will be showing you which type of item you can get from these chests. For example, this is the chest for boots. This is the chest for helms, for example. So here in Helltide, you can do target farming. So you want to go for shark or you want to go for helm, you will be hunting always this chest with the helms, and you will be trying to get the currency to open as many cinders as you can to open those chests with helm. Helltides are usually only 1 hour long, and then it will disappear, then it will appear once, then it will appear again eventually at some point, but they're only 1 hour long, and if you haven't spent your cinders in this 1 hour, your cinders will disappear. They are gone. Next Helltide, next time you will be farming cinders. They are not account bound, they will not stay with your character. Also, if you're dying in a Helltide zone, and you need to remember that the monsters there have a higher level, they are hitting really hard. You will be losing half of your cinders every time when you are dying. So, damn, it actually seems really nice and seems really cool. Also, I forgot to tell you, in this Helltide zone, you will be farming special material, fine files, something like this, rows. This material you need to roll your legendary items. So you need it to change your legendary items. You have a lot of reasons to go to the Helltide here. With Helltide, we got it. The next thing is Nightmare Dungeons. Also, we're talking a lot about Nightmare Dungeons. And in the Nightmare Dungeons, what is Nightmare Dungeons? After level reaching your character is reaching level 50, you will be able to unlock Nightmare Dungeons. To unlock Nightmare Dungeons, you need the sigils. To get those sigils, you will need most likely to complete the Whispers of the Dead, couple of quests, and you will get your first sigils. And by using the sigil, it will modify the dungeon, regular dungeon, into a Nightmare Dungeon. And there in the Nightmare Dungeon, sigils are changing sigils are adding special affixes to the dungeon, and now more monsters will appear. Some special monsters will appear. Gigantic bubbles of blood will appear and they will explode. Always affixes on the sigils are different. There will be always something special appearing in the dungeons. You can, if you see, you will be able to see which, because before you enter in the dungeon, you will be able to see which affixes has this particular sigil and how exactly it will modify your dungeon. Also, the sigils, they have the levels. So the higher the level of the sigil, the more difficult the dungeon will be there. So if you don't like some particular sigils, you don't like those modifiers, you can salvage it, and then you can go to your salvaging it at occultist. Also, the other occultist, you can craft random sigils using the materials from the salvage sigils. You can craft the new sigils, and it will allow you. It's always random, but maybe there by like this, you will be able to get the cool effects and cool nightmare dungeons there. And yes, chat is also mentioning you need to salvage 4 sigils to craft another random sigil. It's not a bad idea. It's a good system. And I assume you will be getting quite a lot of sigils there. Also from a Tree of Whispers and from the other nightmare dungeons that you are completing. You will be also getting the nightmare, you will also be getting the sigils, and you will be salvaging them, crafting the new ones, upgrading them, going higher in the nightmare dungeons in all of this system. Exploring the different affixes from the game. The highest levels for the sigils is 150. My chat is helping me. And also, it looks like they're going to be every season. They're going to be 30 nightmare dungeons, and they will be rotating. Every season, they will be adding new. They will be changing nightmare dungeons, always adding something new. So, well, goddammit, that's going to be lols. That's going to be fun. Whew! Paragon Boards, other cool activity in the Paragon Boards. They showed us the Paragon Boards, and Paragon Boards, it's one of my personal favorite things that they're adding, that are bringing into the game. And, well, what they showed the examples of a normal mode, magic mode, normal node, magic node, rare node, and rare nodes are OP as hell. They can be really powerful, and there is relatively a lot of them. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think developers said that there is like 9 rare nodes on a board. So there is quite a lot of them, and you can choose them. You can choose the rare node that you need. Also, rare nodes and magic nodes, they have requirements. What does this mean? You are progressing in your board. You are unlocking on your way. There is a rare node. You are unlocking it. You put a point into it. The basic buff of this node you will get. Immediately you will unlock it. But if you will fulfill the requirements, and every node has their special requirement. For requirements, this is the amount of stats that your character should have. So either it's dexterity requirement, or it's intelligence requirement, or strength requirement. So if your character has enough of those stats that this node require, you will have extra buffs. So this is making you you need to decide which path to choose in the Paragon board, which particular stats you need for this node. It's not necessarily, if you're playing intelligence-based class like sorcerer, it's not necessarily you will be going that much for intelligence. If your goal is to reach this particular node, and for this node you need dexterity, then you will be choosing a path to your node, to your rare node, with dexterity nodes on the way. This is so beautiful, actually. And besides the rare nodes, there are of course legendary nodes that are literally legendary, new legendary power you are unlocking there. There is 1 legendary node per board, and there are glyphs, and glyphs are so sexy, glyphs are so amazing, and glyphs are affecting also and buffing the nodes around them, and all of this is working in synergy, and their range can be increased. How many nodes they will be buffing can be increased if you're going into the nightmare dungeons, and in the nightmare dungeons you're upgrading your sigil, so the effects of those in the nightmare dungeons you're upgrading your glyphs, the glyphs, you're upgrading your glyphs, and you're increasing the buffs of those glyphs, and glyphs you're equipping in the sockets on the Paragon boards. I mean, so good. Also, developers talked a lot about the class changes that were made, and most importantly, what was said, they really adjusted, they really looked into the beta feedback and adjusted their melee classes, gameplay, some mechanics, some ways how the melee classes are working. Also adjusted the way how the monsters are attacking the melee gameplay, the melee characters. All of this in the end lead to the comment from Riker, and he said that he was playing Barbarian recently in this new build after they made the changes, and Barbarian became his second favorite class, and after the beta it was his fourth favorite class. Now the gameplay felt way smoother, way better, you felt yourself, Riker felt himself more powerful with playing the Barbarian, and it's actually a great comment, just because I also didn't like Barbarian. I also didn't like, come on, Barbarian, seriously. I'm not that a fan of a melee gameplay, but if actually it feels now way better, and the characters feel now strong, the melee characters, Barbarian, feel now stronger and more powerful. Why not? It's absolutely great. Also, from the changes, what was changed after the learnings, after the beta learnings, the dungeons, guys. The developers talked a lot about the changes, what they did with the dungeons. You can read a little bit more about this in the blog post, in the beta learnings that was published a couple of days ago. But shortly speaking, they changed the layouts because to prevent this repetitiveness kind of the dungeons, and the thing that you need to backtrack, you need to run the empty corridors when you already killed all the monsters. It's caca. They changed the layout of multiple dungeons. They made the monsters chase you when you have the objective in the dungeon, slay all monsters, and you missed someone behind. They made now the monsters will chase you, will follow you. This will allow you to kill them faster. Changes, they also changed the how it's called, anima collection feature. They removed the time when you're placing the anima somewhere, or they're placing the object somewhere on pedestal or something. They made a lot of changes to the dungeons to make just the whole experience smoother. They make the dungeons faster, and to make this experience as less repetitive as it's only possible. Okay, guys, a big question, big comment, reset the dungeon button. Because after they posted the blog post about the beta learnings, there were a lot of arguing about this reset dungeon button feature that was removed. After the beta, they removed it. A lot of people were pissed. I was incredibly happy. It shouldn't be even there. But developers now clarified what happened with this reset dungeon feature. Yes, they removed the button. There is no button. You can't reset the dungeon immediately with just pressing one button. But if you completed the dungeon and if you just staying in town, the dungeon will reset naturally after around 60 seconds. It just will happen automatically. And if you are in the dungeon and you made progressed half through the dungeon and you decided to stop doing it, you decided to leave the dungeon and do something else, then it will take a little bit longer. The dungeon will reset after 150 seconds approximately. So the dungeons are still resetting, it's just taking a little bit more time, and they removed the button. They just made it, it's just taking longer, but the resets are still there. It's just impossible now to spam constantly the same dungeon over and over again. You still can, it will just take longer. All of this is made to make you explore different places, not just mindlessly spam the same dungeons, repeat the same dungeon over and over again for the most efficient way how you will be farming, for just getting the items faster. No, you need to explore, and this is the whole idea, to make you explore the game more, to go somewhere else. And also on hardcore, you can't just immediately reset the dungeon if you're about to die, and you have to, die. Besides that, my favorite phrase, They fixed the ultra wide monitor issue. That's the movement speed, movement skills like teleport. With the ultra wide monitors, they were, well, ultra wide also teleporting way too far away. No, they adjusted this, they fixed this issue, and no, now the teleport range is the same on all monitors. They also fixed the world bosses multiple joins. So what does this mean? During the beta, a lot of people find out that what you can do if you have a super powerful character, you can join the world boss fight, destroy the boss, finish the boss, then you're going back to town, and then you're asking some of your friends to invite you to their world boss fight and kill the boss again, maybe even three times kill the boss again, and be able to collect multiple loots from multiple world bosses. Well, no, they fixed it. Now it won't be available. They addressed it. Also, a comment here about the world boss. The world boss, when you first time killing the world boss, every week you're getting extra loot. When you're killing the world boss already, like after that, multiple times, you won't be getting that much loot. You still will be getting some, but the highest amount of loot you are getting from your first weekly world boss kill. Also, a couple of questions were answered during this live stream. How long will it take to complete the battle pass? Well, around 80 hours will it take. Riker asked a wonderful question about the skill tree. Are there changes maybe in the future possible in the skill tree, since from the previous version, from the previous beta, the content from the previous press beta, some skill tree were changed? And yes, developers answers that yeah, they're planning some changes for the skill trees, maybe adding the new passives in the skill trees of the characters, maybe even adding new skills. But you can expect it not with the seasons, you can expect it with some big expansions. Somewhere there are possible changes that even new skills will appear or for your characters. This is incredibly cool. There also was a question about the altars of Lilith. What specifically does this mean, and how you need to collect the altars of Lilith. And here is the beautiful explanation. Altars of Lilith, it has the collectibles feature, the collectible idea. Altars of Lilith, if you're collecting them, if you are touching the altar of Lilith in the sanctuary, you will be getting a buff that is bound to your account. This buff will be going to your to all your characters, seasonal characters, non-seasonal characters. It will be everywhere there. So altars of Lilith will not reset with every season. It will be always the buffs that you once collected. Altars of Lilith, the buffs will always stay with you. This is not going to happen with renown system. With renown, you will have to re-farm your renown every season. So you will have to do side quests, you will have to do the dungeons, you will have to do strongholds from the renown system to finish it, to get yourself all the buffs from the renown system. Comment, one comment, the altars of Lilith, even though they are account bound and characters shared, you need to collect them separately for softcore and hardcore, because softcore and hardcore, it's absolutely different worlds. They are not connected with each other at all, and you will have to here collect them again on softcore and on hardcore. Can you also, one amazing question from Riker about the special item types. Can you get them from some special monsters, or there is some special place where you can go and farm this particular item? Is there something like this in the game? And the answer to this is, like, you have Helltide, where you can target farm the type of items, helms, but not in particular, so Shaco, no, but helms in general you can target farm, for example, in Helltide. But there is also actually a really cool feature in the game. There are monster families, and the monster families are bound to a particular item types. What does this mean? From any monster, any item can drop. But some particular monster families, for example, like skeletons, example from the live stream, they have a high chance to drop crossbows. Example, okay? It's example. Not necessarily it's going to be like this in the game. And doesn't matter on which character you are, you can go and kill the skeletons and you will be probably getting there more crossbows. Does a rogue you're not rogue, you're druid, but you still will be getting here the crossbows. And like this, you can go and kill particular family monsters, monster families, and yeah, you will be able to farm item types like this. Really cool that it's not character bound, so I can farm on my necromancer items for my rogue and vice versa. This is actually cool and well demo. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Also, yeah, we have to find out which monster family drops what. We don't have this information, we don't know. And since they still have the chance to drop any other legendary type of item, it's not 100%. Skeletons are not dropping only crossbows, they're dropping everything else, but just the chances are a bit higher here that they will drop this particular type of items. And the same goes for every other monster family, and this is gonna be an interesting search, an interesting investigation. Yeah, who is dropping what more often. Also, other question, are there gonna be any changes after the server slam till the actual game release? Nope, the server slam, this test is only for the servers, and developers are hoping that you're gonna destroy the servers to prepare for the actual game release, to make the game release to make the release as smooth as possible. The game went gold. Yeah, we saw this announcement a couple of days ago, so there are going to be no major changes. No, maybe a little bit. No, maybe if something is completely broken, but really unlikely they're going to change something massively after the server slam. The ultimate question, again from Riker, why there is no overlay, map overlay? And the answer to this, well, it's not map overlay, won't be happening on the release. Definitely they're right now not planning to add it, but maybe later. They're constantly looking into the feedback. They know that a lot of people actually wanna have it and get used to play with it, and so maybe later at some point we're actually gonna have it, but so far guys, no, and don't expect it to appear magically really soon. Oh, cool question. Are there multi-level dungeons? Are there gonna be the dungeons with the different levels? This is the best answer in my life. The answer to this was that actually there are different levels in the game, in the dungeons, guys, but you didn't notice them because since they removed the loading screens, the loading times from the dungeons, except when you're entering, you are not even noticing that you are going, that there were the stairs, little stairs, or just that you went some level lower and now it's a different level of the dungeon actually. So actually there are multiple level dungeons, but you need to look closer to see them. And some other juice, guys. PvP question, how it's gonna be. How is there gonna be the situations where the team of players in the PvP area is camping and waiting for single players to run by and slaughter them? And the answer to this, yes, it's exactly how it's gonna be happening. So the areas, the PvP areas, they are hostile. It's a full chaos. There is no restrictions. Everyone is attacking everyone. All the caca is happening in the PvP areas. And yes, people will be camping. Yes, people will be trying to chase the single players probably, so don't go there if you're a single player. But also in those areas, they're quite big. There are multiple altars in those areas where you need to clean your currencies there, the red dust. And there is also multiple monsters, so people not going to be just going there to kill everyone. They're going to be also farming their resources, so also they're going to be killing the monsters there. and collecting the resources. If you are, for example, just starting, if you don't have that many resources, if you don't have that many red dust, there's kind of no reason for killing you. But I guess a lot of people will be killing their people just for fun, just because why not? I'm really sorry, hardcore players, hardcore people, just for real, don't go there. If you're not in a team, if you don't have the build, just don't go there. The only thing that's applying to this PvP area is matchmaking. Matchmaking is there. The game will not put you together on the same map, on the same realm with someone who is really way more powerful, way higher than your level. So matchmaking is kinda there. You're supposed to meet their players of the same level and be killed by the player of the same level. Well, good luck everyone in PvP zones. Other cool thing was announced. We're gonna have the next. There were a lot of questions about the seasons, some more details about the seasons, but about the seasons, the developers gonna talk later. In early May, we're gonna have new live stream, and it will be more about the seasons, about the season mechanics. So, guys, waiting. Sad news: co-op on PC won't be available on release, or won't be available in the future, maybe at some point later, because it's difficult to connect two accounts simultaneously on one PC. That's why co-op is not available on PC, only on console. Mouse and keyboard on console also not gonna be available on release, maybe somewhere in the future. Ultimate question. The other ultimate question also was asked about the crafting system. How is the crafting systems? Are there going to be any changes in the crafting systems in the game? And the answer is that yeah, in time we will be changing things. We will be adding things there. We're looking into crafting system and always searching for the ways how to expand it. Ultimate question about the mount. Can you pick up herbs while you're on the mount? Mountain somewhere, riding somewhere in the sanctuary, and there are multiple actually features that you can do while you're on the mount, and one of them, yes, you will be able to pick up herbs. This is cool. This is a nice quality of life thing. You don't need to unmount yourself every time when you see a herb and wanna pick it up. And the chat was spamming. The chat was ultimately spamming with a question about the WASD movement in the game, and no, it's not available on the launch. So far they're not looking into it, but of course, guys, everything is possible in the future if you will annoy the developers long enough, but so far it's not there. Also, in the last drop, in the last beautiful note, beautiful cherry on top of this live stream, Diablo Resurrected new leader is dropping May 4. May the 4 be with you, guys. Star Wars Day, Diablo Resurrected leader is coming. So, if you're planning to slay, if you're planning to jump in and destroy, book the time, May 4th. Thank you so much for watching, chat. Obviously, thank you so much for helping. Guys, what do you think about all the changes? What do you think about the server slam? I already said that I am pissed as hell because, yeah, I will be on the vacation. I planned the vacation, and unfortunately, it's right in the middle of my vacation. Oh, god damn it. But I will anyway try to log in. I will anyway try to play, maybe even to stream, and that's gonna be fun. Couple of updates. That was actually really interesting, and I'm really happy that they're implementing them in the game. Overall, come on, guys, 42 days from now, from today, it's 42 days till the full game release, and I just can't wait. It's absolutely mind-blowing and amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully that was helpful, and hope to see you soon in the sanctuary. Kill me!